Hey, what's up? It's Randiah from Pack Hacker. Today we're going to take a look at the North Face Surge backpack, which I've been testing for about a month. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful and you want to see more videos like this one to help you find the right gear. Let's take a look. Alright, so before we start, you should know there is both a men's and a women's version of the Surge backpack. The only real difference is that the women's version is just a little bit shorter, and the shoulder straps are a bit more contoured to fit around a woman's chest. So with that said, let's take a look at the materials because those are going to be the same in both bags. So we've got ripstop nylon and polyester on here, so really durable. I've got some like scratches and dirt on here, but no like rips or tears or anything like that. And I've been testing this bag for a month, so it's been through quite a bit of abuse. We also have YKK zippers and both Duraflex and ITW hardware on here, so pretty good materials all around. So flip this bag over on its back. The back panel is one of the most interesting / main features of this bag, I would say. They have this flex vent technology, which just basically means the back panel is supposed to have lumbar support. So it's really thickly padded here. So it's pretty comfortable at the top for your thoracic spine and just keeping that nice and comfortable if you're using this for like hiking or you're going to be wearing it for a long time while you're walking around outside. It is comfortable there. For me though, unfortunately, the bottom part, which is supposed to be the lumbar support, it does, sort of sit against your back and provide you that support, but the very bottom of the back panel is very rigid and hard. So it does curve, but this like very bottom part is really stiff and hard, and it sort of just poked me in the back while I was wearing it. I think maybe the profile of this bag is a little too long for me personally. I'm 5'4", I think my torso is about 19 inches. So this was just a little bit too long, and because it's so stiff, it just poked me the whole time that I wore it. So it was a bit uncomfortable there, unfortunately. And even I'll show you, if you set the bag down, you can sort of hear, at first I thought that was my laptop, but that's the back panel, that's the bottom. So that just tells you right there how hard and stiff it is. So just something to note there, but otherwise did find it comfortable. You've got the contoured shoulder straps here, which are also pretty densely padded. So that's good. And then we do have a hip belt here at the bottom. This is not really padded at all. It's basically just, nylon webbing. So it is gonna help keep the bag stable and support you and everything like that. But like I said, if you're wearing this bag for a long time while you're exploring downtown or hiking or something like that, because this doesn't have any padding on it, it can cut into you a little bit in my experience. So just watch out for that. If you don't want a hip belt, it is removable, so you can just take it off and just not worry about it. But it's there if you need it. This bag does have 2 water bottle pockets. They are fairly wide and they are a bit gusseted. They have this little bit of mesh and this elastic strip right here, so you can sort of expand it, but then it stays relatively close to the bag and doesn't really interrupt the profile very much if you're not using it. And sometimes I like to use these for my phone or just other quick grab objects that I would put inside. See, I got a phone and a mask in here. So these are good for pretty much anything, not just water bottles. And they're pretty flat too, so that's nice. Just move those out the way. And then we have these 2 pockets here, which are vertical. And these are really spacious as well. So as you can see, I have a water bottle inside there, and there's still space. Let me turn this around so you can see. So it goes pretty wide across the front of the bag. Oop, there's a key in there. goes pretty wide across the front of the bag, so you do have a lot of space to play around with. You just want to be kind of careful depending on your loadout and how you're using the bag. It will cut into the inside, which we'll get into in just a second. But I just think it's pretty cool that you can fit a water bottle in here. If you're the type who is not a fan of water bottle pockets on the outside of a bag, then you have the option to just stick them in here instead. So it's kind of cool to, you know, be able to tailor it that way if that's what you prefer. You've got another one on this side, which is also fairly wide. I've just got a Matador pocket blanket in here. But as you can see, it's almost as wide as the other one, and you have some nice organization to play around with in here too, if you have some smaller items that you want to put in here. So those are pretty neat. We have some daisy chains on the front here, which as you can see, I've just got a Topo Design square bag clipped onto here. So sometimes I put like my cash or cards or something like that in here, and it kind of just became like a tiny little purse. But you can clip anything that you want on here. Water bottles, pouches, stick a hat on here with the carabiner. So you've got that to play around with too. And then here at the top, we actually have two separate pockets. Now, when I first got my hands on this bag, this zipper here is supposed to be kind of like hidden underneath this fabric so that it looks like that and it's like nice and neat and the zipper is covered. But I mean, as you can see, as time has gone on, the fabric has sort of flipped up a little bit. So it's not really giving that like hidden zipper type of feel, which it is supposed to. And it doesn't look as clean. So just know, like after prolonged use, that little flap has a tendency to flip out and doesn't look as good. I mean, you can sort of flip it back under, but for me, it just kept flipping out, so I left it that way. But anyway, so you have this pocket here, which this is fleece lined. So if you want to put sunglasses or anything like that in here, you can. It's also very spacious, even, you know, up in the top here, there's some space. So this is good for quick grab items, sunglasses. You can put your phone in here too, because it's got the fleece lining to protect the screen, so that's nice. I've just got another mask in here and some snacks. I think my keys in here as well. So nice pocket for quick grab items. And as you can see, it goes down to about here on the front of the bag. So you've got a lot of space to play around with. And then the other pocket is just sort of on top of that. So that's here. This one is also fleece lined. It has some, let me put this down so you can see it. It has some nice organization for your tech items. So it's kind of hard to see here, but there's a few mesh pockets here. So I've just got like my laptop charger and cable, some headphones over here. There's a few pen slots. There's another zippered pocket here, which I'm not using at the moment, but you can fit quite a bit in there. And then you have another pocket behind here as well. So you could fit a tablet in here if you wanted to. And the only reason that I'm not using this, for one, I don't use a tablet, but for two, it does kind of cut into the main compartment, which we will take a look at now. So you can see what I mean. Here we are. Here's the main compartment. And also with the zippers, you know, you have these nice long and wide zipper pulls. So just make zipping it open really easy for the main compartment. And on the laptop compartment as well, you have those. So those are pretty handy. So main compartment here, have a few gripes about. The first one is that, you know, this is a basically horseshoe zipper. So I feel like it doesn't quite open up wide enough for me personally. And you kind of have to pack your items vertically and quite strategically to be able to get them. So I'll just show you what I have in here. So I have like a small packing cube, toiletry kit. So this is for my like weekend trip loadout basically, right? And then a sweater. So if you look in here with nothing in it, I mean, you can kind of see, for example, this is the water bottle that I have in that front pocket that I showed you earlier. And you see how that's kind of like cutting into the space a little bit, right? And then if you remember in the other pocket, I didn't really have anything, but if you did have anything in that pocket, it would also cut into the space there a little. So the space is quite narrow. So let me just put this back in here so you can see. And this, once again, there's only 3 things in here, right? And yeah, there's a little bit more space at the top where you could put something, but if you have this pocket at the top filled, then that's gonna cut in here as well. So kind of frustrating, you know, that the pockets are all competing for space. And if you have something like at the very bottom, obviously like this toiletry bag, if I had something on top, then you kind of have to like remove everything at the top to get to the items that are at the bottom because it's vertical and because it doesn't open like clamshell or anything like that wider. So that could be kind of frustrating if you're using it for a weekend trip. But just for day to day, if you don't really have that many things to carry, then could be fine. Just depends on your use case and how much stuff you have to carry. So this is the laptop compartment here. It does have a generous false bottom, which is nice. And then you have this like really thick, padded, fleece lined liner separator here. So your laptop goes here in the back, and then you also have another flap where you can put, you know, I've got a couple magazines or books or anything like that. But I mean, you can kind of see like it's tight already. There's not really much space. I think I do have a notebook in here. And if you sort of like shove that all the way down, you can see how tight that looks. And once again, there's not even really a lot of stuff packed in here. So just something to be mindful of, that it'll be a little tight on space, but I do like this laptop compartment because it is a bit gusseted, so you can just sort of like bend it backwards this way if you need to, if it's getting too tight to get your laptop out. And like I said, it does have a really generous false bottom on there, so I always felt like pretty safe that my laptop was secure. And so there you have it. That is the North Face Surge Backpack. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel, and we'll see you in the next video.